Hey guys, Kevin here to bring you a brand new video where today we're going to be doing day 26 of Failed Film February. The film that we're going to be talking about today is called The Neon Demon. Now, this was a film in a lineup that I was anticipating to be at least somewhat decent compared to the others. It has a 59% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's literally like just barely, qualifying for this series. But honestly, I can see why it got that rating because it's a very like divisive movie, and I can see why like a lot of people don't like it and a lot of people like absolutely love it. So like you can kind of like go different ways on it depending on like what you're into and what you're able to like stomach or tolerate, or what you specifically enjoy in a movie, or how much value you place on certain things. So yeah, for me there are like some things that I really liked about this movie a lot, but at the same time like there's some issues I had with it, and in general I like just wasn't like big on it overall, I guess. To be honest, watching a film every day has kind of like fatigued me a little bit. So maybe, I don't have the ability to enjoy this as much just because of like the sheer amount of films I've watched in the past 4 weeks. So yeah, I don't know. But regardless, like, I really did have a good time with this though. Like, I wasn't like super, immersed into it. I wasn't like super into it, but like what it displays and what it shows you is really well done, and I like have to give praise to it. And because it is like showing off some really nice stuff with like its visuals and like its score and its soundtrack, and it is enough to like keep me engaged for a fair amount of it. And like the way this is shot is so beautiful with like the colors and like all these different like camera angles, and just like the overall like look of this movie is amazing. And that alone you could like try to like certify it as like a masterpiece. But also the score though, like the score, like it's like chilling, it's foreboding, it's intense, it's like a thriller, and it's amping up all these events that are happening. And you also have like some fun like soundtracks, especially like towards the beginning, like when she goes to like a club. Yeah, so essentially this is like a story of a girl who moves to LA, the city, to try to like make it big within the industry. And she has a good looking body, so she wants to like make use of it. And within this story there's some very like clearly shown themes here of like what women's bodies are often used for, and how they're valued, and like what women will try to do to try to make it in the world. And how often like beauty is so like emphasized, and how we like we look at it so closely with women especially. And what women will do to try to like make it in this industry, because they want to be the ones who are like recognized the most. And there's like a whole like battle for trying to like stand out here. And there's also like a need sometimes to like change yourself. Like people feel like they have to like change themselves to fit this standard of beauty. And there's like one character in this who like specifically like makes all these like modifications to herself. Like she talks about like how she had like this chin job and whatnot, and breast job, like everything, like lips. She like talks on and on about like all these things that she had done to her. It's just like this is showing the fact that people get so like into their heads about like like the way they should be. And I'm not a woman, but like it's interesting to see how this is displayed, and I appreciate it here. Obviously I don't know what that's really like, but I think it's being conveyed in a really like solid way. So with this movie, you have a great set of characters here, with the leading character being Elle Fanning, who is super good. She's kind of like modest, and she's kind of like trying to like fit into this new environment. yet like she's also like unafraid to like just be who she is and say what she feels and you know do what she can to make it in the industry and to try to like get these deals and whatnot. And these supporting characters are really good too. One of them is actually played by Jenna Malone, who is from Donnie Darko of all things, which is a film that I absolutely love. So she's great in this too. Now a character I do not get is this hotel or rental manager played by Keanu Reeves, and he's just like a complete asshole in this movie. And like I just like don't get it. I don't get like what he's doing here. It's just strange to me seeing Keanu playing a character like this, and he plays it strangely. I just found it like weird. I don't know like what's up with his character in this. So yeah, it's just like Willem Dafoe has a character like this in the Florida Project, but like that's like in my opinion like way better acted, just like way better portrayal of someone who you know just like hates people and gets angry at people and whatnot. But like what really hurt this movie for me is like the last like 20 minutes of this movie like go into the absolutely like insane territory, just with like where it decides to go with what it's trying to convey. Because like it has like necrophilia in it. Like this girl is like a mortician, and she like fucks a dead body literally while she's like thinking about this girl. Like she's kind of like using her as like a, I don't know, something to like do while she's like thinking about being with this other girl. So it's kind of like her like fantasy thing. So like I get what it's doing, but dude, it's fucking necrophilia. Like holy fuck, man, Jesus, and that was just like so like jarring to see. And there's also like cannibalism in this movie at the end, where it's like there is a metaphor there, like yeah, where it's saying like you know people will consume one another. People will, it's like a cutthroat industry. It's a dog eat dog industry where people will destroy each other, eat each other, whatever you want to call it. So that's like the whole theme of it. But like holy fuck, man, cannibalism really, like in a movie like this, just feels so like odd to me, and especially with like where it comes along, like towards the end of this story, where they just like they randomly introduce this element of like cannibalism that happens, and you're just like, okay, what the fuck. um so yeah, I think this is a really well made film, and I appreciate a lot that's there, but like just sometimes the way things are conveyed here, I'm just not that big on. I will say though, there's an end credits sequence to this movie that is so good, with just like shots of this like landscape and also a song by Sia that I really like now. I've been like listening to it all day. I've been like obsessed with it. It's an amazing song, and yeah, like that's like got to be like my favorite end credits sequence ever. Like in it, honestly, like it makes me think about the movie more. Like because of that end credit sequence, I keep thinking about this movie, and because of like how powerful that sequence is, and it is a great movie though. So yeah, I mean I have to give credit where credit's due, and I feel like over time it has kind of like grown on me like a tiny bit. Maybe partly due to that end credit sequence, but also just like this is just like good filmmaking that's shown here. So yeah, I'm going to give this film an 8.4 out of 10. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.